What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today when I talk to you about NIO, I want to go over some of the current data points, latest and updates, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is up 0.44%, piggybacking off of the broader market, which is very green. So it looks as though that the market already essentially priced in the states hitting Iran. So again, that's something that did develop over the weekend. And even aside from that, the fact that oil and crude is down 1.36%, it goes to show that Wall Street isn't really believing that Iran is going to cut off that strait, ultimately restricting 30% of oil. So at the end of the day, the market is very much piggybacking from Friday's risk on type of mentality. So ready to really kind of move higher. S&P is exactly at that 6,000. So that's a more of a psychological barrier. So if it is able to close above 6,000, then things could get very real very fast in a positive way. But macro standpoint, nothing really coming out from China, no news or anything like that. As far as specific NIO news, there isn't any SEC filings, no press releases. There was this that did come out signaling that the L90 pre-sales are going to be in early July. And not only that, there is going to be sufficient amount of inventory for this pre-sale. So that's really optimistic. And I think it's too short notice for them to really mess that up. So I think this is a clear-cut catalyst in my opinion, and this would piggyback off of hopefully another good catalyst, which would be their monthly numbers. So maybe this is why you're seeing a little bit more of a bump up as well from institutions, because as far as right now, you do have a low of 337, so I had a little bit of a push lower, and then it's piggybacking now off the broader market. 345 the high, 8.7 million shares being traded within the first roughly 1 hour of the trading day. 31.6 is the average. So big money is definitely getting in, and you can see that as well through the dark pool. So a lot of big transactions. So algorithmic trading and institutions buying is really helping and pushing NIO higher. So always a good thing to definitely see. Aside from that though, I've kind of brought this up in previous videos, and it is how shorts do make up a good chunk of the volume. And today they aren't doing jack all. They're increasing 1.1 million shares, which is rather timid. Me preparing for this video, they were only increasing roughly around 50,000 shares. So they did just recently jump up. So most likely that's what's causing this pull lower right now. But nonetheless, big money buying is clearly at a greater rate than shorts. So as I've mentioned, all NIO did need was a good catalyst, whether it be specific to NIO or the broader market. And market seems to be really very much risk on, like I said. So things are looking pretty good for NIO. As far as options go, 491,000 in calls, 200,000 in puts. 51% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. And again, for those of you that kind of watch my video, it's been a very long time since you've seen a sentiment be bullish through the options. So definitely very welcoming to see. From the bulls, you see a consensus for it to be above that 350 mark. Bears, not really much going on. Looks like consensus for it to be sub 350 for the most part for this week, but nothing really substantial for the volume. But as far as right now with that 343, it is trading between this S1 and this S2. So 331 is going to be a strong support. 349 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And that's going to be a must close above point if you're going to see any sort of recovery for this week. But aside from that, no new analyst ratings, no articles really coming out or anything. So it is just merely piggybacking off of the broader market. A couple of articles by, I guess, Motley Fool, but I'm not really a fan of them. They're just bringing up kind of the discounted rate that NIO is at. That's just looking at the multiples. And I think everyone at this stage knows that NIO is like at a crazy discount. The PS ratio, in fact, is below 0. So that's just mind blowing. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But aside from all of that fun stuff on the actual chart itself, 378 is going to be that key point to really watch for. So that is that 50-day moving average. Aside from that, ALMA is 347. So both of those kind of elements you just really want to watch for. If it is unable to close above that ALMA, then anticipate further consolidation. So I think just the market is very optimistic right now, ready to really move higher to the next leg up. But specific to NIO though, they just need to kind of execute. That's kind of the only thing at this stage that the market is really caring about, is NIO really ramping up. And so we do have the registration numbers as well coming out tomorrow, so that could be a momentary other catalyst to really push NIO higher. But nonetheless, let me know your thoughts on NIO. Are you buying? Are you selling? I myself, I did receive some comments last time on when I would be buying. Reverting back to kind of this, I would be a buyer roughly around that $3 range. I know that does sound rather kind of dumb, like, hey, why not buy now? But NIO just is always hated by Wall Street. I already do have a position as well, which I'm at a pretty deep loss in. Nothing significant originally of a position, but nonetheless, I would either want them to really significantly ramp up on production, hitting their goals or kind of heading towards that direction, or just get to that $3 range, so more of a value kind of play. So let me know your viewpoint. At what stage would you buy more, or are you done with NIO? I know from a lot of the comments, a lot of people are very frustrated with just the price action and everything. So what's your kind of general thoughts on NIO? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.